welcome back to Aces Field as we are getting ready to get the second half underway here tonight, week number 3. If you're just joining us, it has been, it's been Friday the 13th. Let's just put it that way. And the Aces are down 28-6. I didn't mention anything about that during the whole first half because I didn't want to freak out any of the triskaidekaphobiacs out there. So, final seconds of the half are ticking away. Had a pretty good show from the Edon Bombers and the Aces Pride marching bands. And we're ready to see what the Aces come up with after the intermission. Back on their heels a few times. Boy, the quarterback for the Edon Bombers is only a sophomore, Drew Gallahue. But what an arm on that kid. He throws a pretty good pass and really, really accurate. However, he telegraphs them a little bit, though, because the Aces came mighty close more than once in that first half to picking off passes from Drew. So we'll see if they've expanded on that any. The Aces will receive the football to start this third quarter. They won the toss and deferred. So they will be on offense to start things off here in quarter number 3. 12 minutes on the clock. Brian Williams running the camera. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Our coverage underwritten by the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. And Brian and I are glad to have you with us here for our week number 3 coverage on HIX-TV. Hoping for an exciting second half. Again, American Pride Night, this being the week of Patriot Day, 9/11. Lots of red, white, and blue on the sidelines. And on the field, too. Kick comes down, bobbled, but held on to. They're trying to reverse his field, and not much there. He gets out to, they're going to give him forward progress, it looks like, to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Aces will set up offensive shop for the first time in this third quarter. 1st and 10. Jake Miller. Quick handoff right up the middle and finding a seam and a little bit of running room. Mason Comiso. Comiso powers it out to about the 29. Pick up of 4 to make it 2nd and 6. Rolling out now. Miller puts the ball in the air. It's caught. And out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. That should be enough to move the chains. That should be a first down. It is. So Baird makes the catch and gets to the 36-yard line to give the Aces a fresh set of downs. Here's the snap, and again a handoff, and again powering up the middle. This time Wortman carrying the ball, and Cole getting out to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of a couple to make it 2nd and 8. Man in motion, spins around, nice misdirection play. Comiso off to the races. Comiso, again, just one man to beat. He cuts back upfield. Nice move as he heads towards the end zone. And Mason Comiso in for 6. How about that? That's the second long-distance scamper as Mason Comiso goes 62 yards. That puts him, he must have about 150, 175 yards here tonight because he had a 70-yard scamper, and then this one is 60. That's 130 some right there. Aces going for two. Pitching it out to Camaso. He cuts upfield. He's diving forward. And I don't see any hands going up. He must have been brought up short. So the two-point conversion fails. And the score is going to remain 28-12, 10:35 to go. So the Aces cut the lead to 16. Still 2 scores down, but that's better than being down by 3. So the Aces will get ready to kick it off. That's woke up the crowd a little bit here. They're a little livelier now than they were heading into the halftime. How's the crowd down at the how was the crowd down there at the concession stand at halftime, Brian? Pretty good? Okay. Yep. Cheerleaders got their little red, white, and blue wristbands on tonight. Aces take to the field. Again, Travian Tunis, who normally kicks off and wears number 70, is on the sideline in street clothes largely. He's got his jersey on, but wearing jeans. Travian not playing tonight. So Turnbull handling the kicking chores. Turnbull shoots it right to number 1, Reed. And Reed not quite to the 40-yard line. Reed will get across the 35, though. And looks like they're going to put him down at about the 36. So they'll put the ball 36-yard line. Bombers 1st and 10. And their offense will take the field for the first time tonight here in this third quarter. Gallahue's going to hand it off, and this could be trouble. Oh, they caught him just at the last minute. Kyler Baird got him around the ankles and tripped him up. Ball was being carried by Mason, and Mason was about a half a step away from cruising down the field. Like I said, they tripped him up right at midfield. That's a first down, though, for the Bombers. They'll hand it off to him again. This time the Aces sniff it out, and they'll drop him for a 2-yard loss. Well, they're going to give him forward progress to the 49, so it'll be a 1-yard loss. So 2nd and 11 for the Bombers. Gallahue, quick lateral out, caught, still on his feet. That's Reed again. Reed making the grab and getting out to the Aces 46-yard line. That'll pick up 4 and make it 3rd and 6. So Edon looking at a 3rd and 6. Gallahue. And there's lots of movement on the line. And I think it's going to be the Aces in the neutral zone. So that's going to make it 3rd and 1 as the Aces jump and make contact in the neutral zone. So offsides on the defense. And it's 3rd and 1 now for the Bombers. Drew Gallahue staying in the shotgun. Gallahue hangs onto it himself, and he'll have the first down. Picks up a couple and gets to the 39-yard line of the Aces. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Bombers, and the Aces will shift in some fresh legs on defense. Gallahue taking his time. It's another handoff. And the ball is loose, but they're going to say it was knocked down kind of by contact, so no fumble on the play. Pickup of about 8 to make it 2nd and 2. Clock still rolling down to 7:54 and counting. Gallahue, he keeps it himself this time. Straight ahead, first down yardage inside the 25 to the 24. So again, Edon comes right back out after halftime and proceeds to continue to just march it right down the field. As the Aces, they've had a couple of good defensive plays here at times tonight, but they've been also, well, they've been kind of inconsistent. For every great play, they've let one get away from them, and it looks like it's going to be another 5 yards, as it'll be offsides on the Aces again. That'll make it 1st and 5. Normally the Aces have problems with the false starts, but tonight they've been dinged twice for offsides on defense. Gallahue again handing it off, going around the corner, looking for some daylight. A flag is thrown from the Aces backfield. They're marking him at about, let's see, it looks like he was stopped short of the first down. But we'll wait and see what the flag is all about. And that's going to be a hold on the offense. So that's going to back him up 15 or 10 yards rather from the spot of the foul. Now takes it back to the 25-yard line, where it will be 1st and 11. So we go under 7 minutes. And we're going to have another stoppage and another whistle, and this is going to be a false start on the Bombers. So our 1st and 11 is going to become 1st and 16. So the Bombers moving in the wrong direction here. Not that we're complaining, being Aces fans, but 1st and 16 as the Edon Bombers have now backed themselves up to the 30-yard line. Gallahue's got a man open, diving catch incomplete. Keys was the intended receiver, and he made a dive for it in the end zone. It's off his fingertips and incomplete, which will make it 2nd and 16. Ball remains at the 30-yard line. Excuse me. So Drew Gallahue with a 2nd and long. But they're well within striking distance with Gallahue's arms. He's running for his life and gets the ball away. He's got a man open. And he hauls it in the end zone. Oh, maybe not. That was incomplete. And Reed is down. Chase Reed was the intended receiver. Reed came down kind of hard, and he is still on the turf. So we'll have an injury timeout. And we'll step aside here while they're tending to the injured player. With the successful pass, it's 34-12 now. And we'll have the conversion attempt when we come back. But we'll step aside while they tend to the injured player. And Brian and I will be back, and we'll resume coverage when play resumes here on HIX-TV. So they'll get Reed up, and he's walking off under his own power, which is a good sign. Maybe a little unsteady on the pins there, but give the kid credit, too. He took a hard knock, but he held on to that football, and he got 6 points for his team. Got to admire that no matter what color jersey you're rooting for. So it's 34-12, 6:28 to go here in quarter number 3. They'll get a replacement on the field for Reed. And we'll see what they want to do for the PAT as Reed's replacement trips. That's number 15. And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. Gallahue looking things over, puts the ball in the air, and it's off the hands of his intended receiver. Incomplete, so the 2-point conversion attempt fails, and the score remains 34-12, a 22-point advantage. And a flag on the field, that's going to be, okay, that's going to be offensive pass interference, and that will be declined. The last thing Coach Smith is going to do is back him up a few yards and give him another crack at getting a 2-point conversion. So they'll decline that one. Thank you very much. And the score will remain 34-12. And the Aces need to dig themselves out of a 22-point hole here, just about halfway through quarter number 3. So Hicksville looking to get the ball back. Will break huddle and head out onto the field. So far, both of the Aces' scores have not really come as a result of sustained offensive drives. They've been the result of spectacular running plays by one Mr. Mason Comiso. Finding the seam and kicking on the afterburners to motor down the field. 60-some 70 yards, both times. So Keys will tee up the ball for the Bombers. And we'll get ready to get the Aces back on offense. Here we go, Keys. Light taps, kicks it, scooped up at the 20-some yard line. Out to the 35. Picked up at about the 22-23. So about a 12, 13-yard return. So 1st and 10 Aces at their own 35-yard line. Jake Miller, split back on either side of him. Hands it to Wortman. Wortman might have got a couple. So Wortman will give him a couple yards on his carry, make it 2nd and 8. Miller gets the ball away. 1st down yardage. Gets it out to Kyler Baird, and Baird gets out to the 48-yard line. We move the sticks. So Aces, fresh set of downs, 5.5 minutes, clock rolling. They're out to their own 47, 48-yard line. Miller gets the signal from the sideline, hands it off. And Wertman with a good carry out across midfield down to the 47-yard line of the Edon Bombers. Miller sets his offense, pitches back. Wertman looking for some running room, nothing there. He's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll go, and you're going to say down before, well, they're going to stop the clock at 4:30 as we've got an injured player on the sideline. That's from Edon. So one of the Bombers looks like he cracked his knee on something on the sideline. They're going to send some personnel over to take a look at him. He is off the field to play, so I'm not sure whether they will need to suspend the play or not. Bombers coaching staff making the long walk across the field. Officials will come out to midfield. Let's see. Ethan Steinke, number 11, is the player down, and they're looking at his left lower leg or knee. Or no, that's his right leg. They rolled him over onto his stomach, so I thought he was on his back. But then when they lifted it up, I was like, well, that's his left leg, and they're bending it that way. He is in trouble, but no, he's on his back. So it's his right leg they're looking at. And giving him a rub, so I don't know if it's a cramp. They're going to pop him back up. He'll have to come out for at least a play. Gets a nice round of applause from the Aces faithful in the stands here tonight. And we'll get ready to get back into action here. 4.5 minutes to go. In quarter number 3. All right, fire the clock back up, and here we go. Jake Miller, hard count, nobody bites. Hands it back to Wertman, nothing doing. They were waiting for that. Wertman tries to carry it right up the middle, and he gets met by a wall of defenders. And that's going to make it 4th and 5 after he's brought down for no gain. Wertman's going to come out after that one. He got hit pretty good, so they might want to let him clear the cobwebs out a little bit. They'll bring in Jackson Bergman. Miller rolling out, puts the ball in the air, caught, first down yardage. Nice play. Down to the 39-yard line, and Baird makes the grab on the far sideline for another first down for the Aces. Wertman will come back out onto the field after he's got a bit of a breather there. So Aces. Fresh set of downs. Pitch out at the last second. And another strong run. Tomaso, first down yardage as he'll take it down to about the 25. The Aces picking up positive yardage and down now to the 25-yard line. Miller, nice toss, and just out of the reach of his intended receiver, Kyler Baird. That'll bring up second down. Aces really want to get it. I mean, they're to the point now in this game, if they want to have any chance of being able to get back in this game and pull out a victory here, they're going to need points on this possession, no doubt about it. They need to score often. Down 22. Miller, another handoff, another nice run, and down to the 20-yard line. Pick up of 5, and that'll make it 3rd and 5 for the Aces. Jake Miller, split backs behind him. Looking over, caught, and dropped. That's going to bring up 4th down. Baird not happy with himself. He had the ball, and I couldn't tell whether he dropped it when he got hit or if he caught the ball and then started turning to run upfield before he had it under control all the way and it hit the turf. Brian says he started to turn upfield before he had it fully controlled. Either way, it's an incomplete pass, and it brings up 4th and 5 for the Aces at the 20-yard line. And taking too long, so they call the timeout so they don't hit 5 for delay a game. Trying to get him to jump on the hard snap count didn't work, and then they were waiting for the actual play to come in from the sideline, and it was taking too long. So they'll take their first time out of the half. Aces will have 2 remaining, but they have to burn their first time out with 2:52 to go in the 3rd quarter. Oh, 2:52 to go. Timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor. Listen to me. We're not doing basketball. Timeout on the field. Aces will break huddle. Aces will be back here at Aces Field for next week's game, week number 4. We'll talk more about that when we get some time coming up in the 4th quarter. This is the first of a 2-game home stand. Jake Miller taking the snap on 4th and 5. He's hit as he opens up, and the ball is up for grabs, and it's picked off. Caught in the end zone, and they're taking it out. A nice return, 26 with the carry. This could be a pick 6 from the end zone, coast to coast. Oh, my goodness. That's Keegan Romine roaming, picked it off in the end zone and went the distance, but there is a flag on the play. The flag sitting at about the 34-yard line of the Bombers. So the incredible interception run back might be for naught. I don't think that they are going, I don't think Edon is going to lose possession of the ball. I think that they clearly intercepted the pass. So we'll see how it all shakes out here. There's a bit of a conference amongst the officials at about the 45-yard line. They're breaking their huddle. And now the teams are kind of huddling up. They've got the football, and they're heading back towards the Aces, or excuse me, by the Edon Bombers end zone. And they're having a conference with the Edon coaching staff on the far side of the field. And we'll get the official determination, but I guess that this one's going to be coming back, obviously. And it's going to be a hold against the Bombers. And another foul against the Aces, so it's going to offset. But it's going to be Edon's ball, I guess. Well, we'll see, no? They're putting the ball first and 10, and it looks to be so the interception is going to stand. It will be Edon's ball, and then the penalties offsetting after the change of possession. So it'll be first and 10, and Edon will have the ball at like the 2-yard line. And they're going to power it out close to the 5. So I hope you were able to follow that. The Aces threw the ball. It got tipped in the end zone, and then it was intercepted by the Bombers. The Bombers player started to advance the ball, and then in the course of his run back, there was offsetting fouls committed. And they're saying that those were committed at about when he was at about the 2 or the 3 yard line. So they're just, the fouls offset, and that's where they place the ball. So now it is 2nd and 8 from the 5. And doesn't look like much there. And looks like brought down for little or no gain. So I'll make it 3rd down and 8. Gallahue chatting with the guys on either side of him, and Gallahue is going to air it out, and it's going to be caught. And he's going to get past the Aces defender and into the end zone. So the catch made by Kelby Sapp. And Balzer almost got him around the ankles, but couldn't quite trip him up. So he'll motor into the end zone. To make it 40-12 with 55 seconds left to go. That's getting into the territory where the Aces might have to start dealing with the running clock. And Keese is going to come out to attempt the extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and the flags go flying everywhere. So we'll see what's up with that. It did not matter, so there was no indication as to whether the kick would or would not have been good. And the Bombers are going off to the sideline, so here come the Aces, so I'm not sure, just a personal foul against Hicksville, so that's going to be half the distance. No, it's not. Okay, so the kick was good. They didn't indicate whether it was a good kick or not when the kick was made. And then there was a personal foul committed by the Aces, and that's going to be marked off on the kickoff. So it looks like it'll be another one of those ones where they'll be kicking off from like the Aces 45-yard line. With the successful extra point, 41-12. A 29-point lead now for the Bombers. 55 seconds. Left in this quarter. So they'll tee it up at the Aces 45-yard line. The last time they just kicked it into the end zone. The Aces took it at the 20. We'll see what happens here. Depending on things, who knows, Camaso might decide to go for a run back. And they're going to, and he will bring it out. And we're going to have another flag, and that's going to be a late hit, and that might be on Edon after the play. We'll see. There's an Edon player, and number 5 for the Aces, Congleton, kind of got involved in a little, and it is going to be, and it'll be declined. So, okay. That way they won't have to kick it again. If they had accepted the penalty, they'd have backed them up, and they'd have just had a normal kickoff. So this way they decide, nope, we'll keep the ball where we've got it at about the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. I don't know, 17-yard line. I'm not going to second guess Coach Smith, but I'd have been tempted to take the re-kick. I mean, but that's why I usually come home with no money when I make trips to like Atlantic City or places like that. Caught. Still on his feet, powering forward out to about the 19-yard line. Excuse me, out to about the 24-yard line. And a flag after Camaso's hard carry. He picked up about 7. And we'll see what the flag is all about. And it's going to be another dead ball personal foul against the Bombers. So tack on 15 more and give the Aces a 1st down. So, boy, Edon's really been racking up the personal fouls here. I think that's like the 4th dead ball personal foul that they have committed in this game. And the 2nd one in pretty short order here in this late 3rd quarter. Jake Miller puts the ball in the air, and there's nobody there. Somebody wasn't where they were supposed to be, I guess, because there was absolutely no one in that area where Miller threw the ball. They were kind of lucky because that's the sort of thing that defensive players dream about, having a wide open field like that where they can kind of run over and snatch a ball. 2nd and 10. Miller takes a snap. This time throws behind his intended receiver. So Baird not able to get his hands on the football, so that'll make it 3rd and 10. Clock stops on the incomplete pass. We're not to the running clock yet, but we are getting kind of close. 12 seconds. Man in motion. Pitch back. Tucks it under. Camaso, and a flag is thrown. Camaso's still on his feet, but it might be for nothing. We'll see how far he goes. Camaso, a little kick to pick up some speed, and they swarm him and drag him down around the 10-yard line. But we've got a flag on the field back at the Aces 41. And that's against Hicksville, and it's going to be a hold. So if that's the spot of the foul, they'll back it up to about the 31-yard line. So that time, the spectacular carry by Mason Comiso is for naught, as they'll back it up. And they will move it back to the 31-yard line, where it'll be third and about 18. So the Aces with third and long, and that's the end of the third quarter. They're going to give them a play with no time on the clock. And Miller's going to get dropped back at the 25. That should be the end of the third quarter. And I believe it is. That'll bring up fourth down and about 25 when we return after the quarter break. So I'm going to sit down for a second here. Woo! We've played three, and after three quarters, it's the Edon Bombers leading the Aces 41-12. And when we get back into action, it'll be Aces ball on their own 25-yard line. They'll be facing a fourth down and 24 yards to go. So as we get ready for the last 12 minutes of football here tonight, we want to say another big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and of course online. You can check out the entire dealer inventory at jimschmidtauto.com. Remember, if you're in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that's brand spanking new or pre-owned, be it a car, truck, van, or SUV, stop by or go online to check out the great selection that they have on the lots at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships. And remember, at Jim Schmidt's, it's always about service before, during, and after the sale. Don't see what it is you're looking for? Let the folks at Jim Schmidt know. They always do their very best to make sure that you get the vehicle that you want at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships right here in Hicksville, Ohio. Proud to have them underwriting our Aces sports coverage again for this school year. Punting team is out for the Aces, and it's over the head of the punter. He runs back and scrambles for his life, throws the ball, and it is caught by the quarterback, Miller. And they get it out to about the 28-yard line, it looks like. Not quite, maybe a little bit beyond the original line of scrimmage, where they will turn it over on downs. And then they've got a conference going on with the officials again. And there is no foul. So the flag was picked up because I'm assuming that whatever the actual play made it so that the foul was negated. It might have been an actual foul that was an enforceable one had they punted, but since they didn't punt. But either way, Aces turn it over on downs deep in their own territory. It's first and 10 Bombers at the Aces 28-yard line. Hard count, and nothing happens. And of course, Edon can just start taking their time here. Handoff, up the middle, another flag. Pile him up around the 20-yard line. So Mason, the carrier, Dylan Mason carrying the ball for the Bombers. Got down to about the 20-yard line, but there's another flag on the play. And it's going to be a block below the waist on the Aces. And that's going to advance the ball. No, excuse me, it's on the Edon. Did I say against the Aces? I'm sorry. Caught myself there. The illegal block below the waist was on Edon. That'll back him up 15 to the 41-yard line, where it will be 1st and 25. Clock running, 11:36. Gallahue keeps it himself. Powers forward to the 40. Drew Gallahue takes him to the 40-yard line to make it 2nd down and about 23. And most importantly, brought down in the field of play on a running, so the clock continues to roll. 11 minutes and counting. Again, the clock is firmly on the side of the Edon Bombers at this point, so they can take their time, run down the play clock. Another handoff. And a pretty good run. And he breaks through, and he's into the end zone. Oh, my goodness. That's a Dylan Mason touchdown run. 40 yards into the end zone. Touchdown, Edon. 47-12. Aces go up by, or excuse me, the Bombers go up by 35. And that means that, well, we'll see how they do with the extra point kick here, but I think that means that we're going to see the running clock here now that the Aces are going to have to deal with, which makes it really tough. Kick is up and good. So 48-12, a 36-point advantage for the Edon Bombers. 10-32. And we saw in week 1, the Aces had the continuous clock for the entire second half against Archbold. And if that's the case, that 10 minutes and 32 seconds can go by really, really fast. Like almost actually 10 minutes and 32 seconds. So we'll see what happens here when they kick it off. I think it's 35 points that institutes the continuous clock, so. Bombers huddling up, figuring out what they want to do for this kick. Aces have their 3 normal deep men back. Langham, Camaso, and Turnbull. Keys so far tonight has been kicking it to about the 25-yard line. And it comes down, and it's going to take a bounce, and they'll pick it up at the 25. And that's Langham, and Langham powers forward across the 35 to about 37. And they do not stop the clock. As we were mentioning, the running clock underway. Aces will need to score to get the clock back to normal operation. So the Aces not as long in the huddle on the sideline at the change of possession. They come back out onto the field. It's already down to 9 minutes, 25 seconds. Jake Miller hands it off. Nothing doing. Out to about the 36-yard line. Loss of a yard. Aces will break huddle. Looking to get some points on the board. If they get any kind of a score, they'll get the clock back to normal operation. And out to the 40-yard line. And they've got the backup quarterback in, number 20, which is Klima, Aaron Klima, to close out the game. Klima hands it off, so we're going to have to refer to our roster here, and that's going to be Brody Balzer carrying the ball that time, not much there. It'll be 4th and 8 as the ball resting at the Aces 38, 39-yard line. And they'll punt it away. And then we'll probably have to get ready to scramble and try to find numbers on our weird roster. Nice kick. Comes down in an open part of the field. It takes a nice Aces roll. And they'll down that at about the, looks like about the 13-yard line. So Braden Langham comes in and delivers a pretty darn good punt. No return. And they'll down it, it looks like at about the 13, 14-yard line. 13-yard line. And that's where the Bombers will take over. They'll get the ball positioned, and again, they fire the clock right back up. And again, the Edon Bombers, 3 timeouts, though the last thing that they're going to do is stop the clock. They'll come out onto the field. And maybe they took too long. Yep, they did. So they'll take the delay of game and back themselves up 5 more to the 8-yard line. They don't care because the clock continues to roll even with the penalty. So it's not like they stop the clock to maybe give the Aces a few more seconds if they get the ball back. And they'll power the ball out to about the 16-yard line, it looks like. That was being carried by, they said number, I don't have a number 37 on my roster. Oh, yeah, I do, Wade Parrish. And they've got a new quarterback in, too. Let's see if I can pick up his number when I get a chance. And he breaks through, and this could be trouble. Parrish, they're trying to catch him. Parrish, oh, they got him right before he gets to the goal line. Caden Nestor, wearing number 10, is the new quarterback for the Bombers at this point. And that was Wade Parrish with that huge run. Parrish takes it down to about the 5-yard line before they got him around the ankles and dragged him down. So the Bombers look to punch another one in, and you really can't hold this one against them again because these are the younger kids now, the second team that's out there getting some varsity playing experience. So you really can't hold it against them that they want to score a couple points too. Powering it forward, I think he came up just a little bit short on the quarterback keeper. So Nestor keeps the ball and takes it down to about the 1. They'll bring in the play from the sideline. Clock still rolling down to about 4 minutes left in this game. Nestor also working out of the shotgun. 1 yard away. Hands it off. And into the end zone goes Parrish. So Parrish gets a varsity touchdown. With 3:57 to go in the game, it's 54-12. And that's pretty much going to be all she wrote for the Aces here tonight. Keys will come back on to get another shot at kicking an extra point. He's gotten 2 of them so far tonight. Keys. And it's good. 55-12. It's a 43-point advantage now for the Bombers. They will kick it off here. The clock will stop while they get ready for the change of possession with 3:57 left to go. So they'll kick the ball off, and the clock will resume. And then it'll just be making sure nobody gets hurt. And the Aces will be able to regroup and get ready to host the Pilots for homecoming next week. Keys will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Let's see, it looks like the Aces deep man number 3, Isaac Ridgway. Number 22, Brody Balzer. And I'm not sure who the one in the middle is. I can't quite see his number. And it will go to Ridgway. And Ridgway will get thrown down. He made it out to about the 30-yard line. And that's where the Aces will set up shop. Aaron Klima, wearing number 20, do the quarterbacking here. Clock fires up, and it is rolling as we're under 3.5 minutes to go. Klima brings him up. Klima just a freshman, and a whistle. And it'll be offsides against the Bombers, so that's 5 the easy way. Make it 1st and 5 and get the ball out to the 35-yard line. Again, Klima just a freshman. Gets the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Klima tries to turn the corner. Might have gotten a yard or so. Klima out to about the 37-yard line. Now they're going to say the 38. Three wide receivers out on the near side towards us, but it's a handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. 35 and about no more. So that'll be a loss of a few, and it'll make it 3rd and 5. Under 2 minutes to go here. Klima, another handoff. Nope, a quarterback keeper. Klima with the ball himself. Got some running room, and he'll get himself a 1st down. Aaron Klima takes it to about the 47-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Hicksville. as we go under 90 minutes, under 90 seconds. Didn't mean to scare you there, Brian. Klima takes the snap, pitches it out, and it's fumbled, recovered by the Aces, but that's back at about the 42-yard line. Another loss for Hicksville. Aces not really in any kind of a hurry up or whatever. There's no reason to rush. And like I said, you don't want to get anybody hurt. You're going to play it out because that's the way you do it. And you keep trying till the end. But this one is already decided, and that might be it. We'll see if they need to do another play as we're under 20 seconds. And the crowd starts to head towards the parking lot. That's going to be it. They're not going to snap it anymore. They don't need to. Final seconds will tick off, and this one will go in the books. And bad luck tonight on Friday the 13th for the Hicksville Aces as they are overcome by the Edon Bombers. 55-12, the final score. Great night tonight for Mason Comiso. He had a 70-yard TD run, and he had a 63-yard TD run, I think it was, or 67-yard, I don't know. He had two big, long touchdown runs, accounting for all 12 of the Aces' points here tonight. Aces, again, had their problems with some penalties, including one I hadn't seen in a long, long time, a 15-yard technical for a sideline violation on a kick return. But the long and short of it is the Aces will now drop back below 500 with 1 win and 2 losses as they get ready to head into week number 4. And next week we will be right back here. It's kind of odd, but it's homecoming, even though they haven't left to play an away game to come home from. But next week will be homecoming, and it'll be the start of the GMC season. So we will have the Ayersville Pilots here at the Aces Field, and it's I think it's the Haunted Homecoming. So again, they'll have the big pep rally to wrap up the school day next Friday and parade, and I think we'll head out to the parade grounds a little bit early, see if we can interview the 2019 Homecoming Queen in her court and get some coverage of the homecoming parade. And Brian and I, of course, will be back here to bring you all the football action next Friday night, as well as it'll be homecoming and the kickoff of the GMC campaign for the Aces next Friday night. Once again, want to say a big thank you to the Hicksville Athletic Department, setting us up, making us feel very welcome as always. Great guys to work with, and we just want to thank them so very much for their continued support of the station. Also, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships, Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot, and of course online, JimSchmidtAuto.com. And most of all, thanks to you for tuning by and watching. Hope you enjoyed tonight's Aces football coverage. Again, rough night for the Aces. Does not go their way. Aces fall to the Edon Bombers, 55-12, the final score. And for Brian Williams on the camera, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you a good night and good sports.